Screen time salutations to all of you internet dwellers out there, and welcome to this episode of Screen Time Continuum. I am Nick, and I am joined, as always, by Keelan. How's it going, man?
It is going amazing. I am not feeling like it's the middle of the week, but I am feeling pretty great.
That's wonderful. Yeah, we got our little cyberpunk themed backgrounds today, so it should be a lot of fun. We're just kind of futzing around since we don't have a studio. We're trying to make it as visual as possible for everybody watching. We very much appreciate you guys tuning in. In this episode, we want to talk about the third and fourth episode of the Amazon Prime series, Invincible. And man, I don't even know what to say. I was telling Keelan before we started, I am a little bit hesitant about what I can talk about. And so I'm really going to hope that Keelan's got some things that he wants to discuss, because you know, it's not that easy to come up with things that are, maybe it's the cartoon format that makes me not like critically inspect things. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but like, I'm not really.
How dare you?
I know. It's like, as soon as it's in a cartoon, I just don't even think about the plot. I don't think about like the storytelling. I'm just like, oh, cartoon, cool. Right. So maybe that's a little bit on me. Maybe I need to raise my expectations for cartoons. There were definitely some good moments that I enjoyed, but but I was having a hard time picking things that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to hand this over to Keelan, because I know he's a lot more organized than I am.
Well, just so you guys know, these are my notes. Can you see them?
Nothing. No, because
there we go.
Forgot. We got green screened.
Nothing. Just know it's a blank page. So
nice.
That's what we're running with.
Yeah.
No. So let's see. So we're covering episodes 4 and 5, and the basis of these two episodes in a nutshell: Mark's come into his powers. Things are getting a little grittier. Nolan's getting a little sketchier, and Debbie's getting a little more curious. Around that and within that, there are probably 4 other stories that are quite interesting. It could be about 7 stories, but it's really only about 4, because 2 or 3 of them intertwine, and then there's a new story introduced with the rock formation cement covered titan.
Yeah.
Him. I like how they reintroduced a villain or a character that was there earlier, and kind of gave any villain, just villains in general, or what is perceived as a villain, new outlook. I thought that was interesting. I didn't like how it ended, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, I kind of agree with that. I did like that. I did like where it was going, though, for sure, because it was nice to kind of see the like a villain isn't just necessarily some brain dead evil person. You know, like they have motivations, they have an agenda, they might have a human side to them too. So yeah, I was definitely digging that sort of idea, but then things happen. So
right. Yeah. Things always happen, right? That's how it really plays out. So what I thought was interesting. So back to the beginning of episode 4, and I really didn't understand this. There's a lot of things. It's almost like they'll introduce the potential for a villain or a new scenario, just a new something coming. As kind of alluded to in episode 1, every 2 weeks they're rebuilding the White House. So I just kind of thought we were going to get some of these villains and things to play out. And it almost seems as if what they're doing is they're making it seem as if there's so much chaos. There's so many villains. There's so many, what's the other thing I'm looking for? So many events, celestial type events.
Yeah.
That you literally just lose track of them. So you might know that one's going on, and next thing you know, you're going into something else, and you never hear about this other thing. And that's interesting to me. Did you notice that as a continuous arc type, like something that keeps happening?
I did. I noticed that the villains are kind of serialized, and the episode, they're kind of like a whole season is kind of serialized. So it's like a new villain every episode,
right?
Which kind of, I guess, kind of makes it a little bit difficult to review, because we're having these episodes tend to be heavily serialized with very thin, linear sort of overarching plot lines that you talk about. You know what I mean? So like, especially in the 4th episode, when the Mars mission, it's very enclosed. There's not much progressing the plot in the larger sense. At least that's what I thought.
Well, I thought they were gonna get there, and then by the end of episode 4, it was a real. I was really like, okay, cool, here we go. Something's coming. Something big's happening.
Right.
Nothing in episode 5. No mention of it.
No.
Nothing. Also, I want to make a very clear statement. We still don't know what's going on with Cecil and his being able to teleport in and out of stuff.
Oh yeah, well, and then we had that new person that can do teleportation too,
Yeah.
Isotope. So it's like, yeah, who knows? But yeah, I definitely got that feeling. It was a little bit hard for me to think about the overarching narratives and the storylines, because every episode feels like it's kind of this enclosed thing with as I said, just a couple things that tie it to other episodes. So yeah, I did find that a little bit challenging. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted because I realized that I put 3 and 4 on our banner. So, boom,
no,
there, I fixed it just now.
Fixed it live.
Because that's how we do it on the fly. Yeah,
that's right. Nobody even knows.
I'm gonna have to change the title too, but I can do that on the fly as well. So that's cool.
There we go. That's pretty dope. So something else. So in episode 4, I like how there was the first couple of episodes, Debbie was really just, no, Nolan would never, Nolan.
Yeah.
Episode 4 rolls around and she's kind of like, Nolan.
Oh yeah, she's definitely believing it now. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and it was so many different things. Episode 4 and 5 included. From her with Damien Darkblood speaking, her taking the time to Google who Darkblood was and realizing like, okay, this dude has no reason to even try to lie or make any of this up.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have a motive to be manipulating behind the scenes, at least that we know of.
Right, exactly. And then the discussion she was having with, I don't remember her name, but the Red Rushes lady, and that whole like, do you think he ever lied to you? And it's like, he's a superhero. Of course he's lied to me. It's the one time I believed him is when I messed up, and it's like, oh, that was a great way to phrase that.
Yeah. Well, and then you get you have Nolan kind of doing the guilty husband thing of taking his wife to Europe, and like, because he's starting to suspect that she's onto him, and so he's trying to take her off of the trail by wowing her with a trip, and being romantic and stuff like that. Yeah.
What's going on? I don't understand. Don't you want to do this? Why aren't you doing what oh, honey.
Yeah.
It's absolutely funny.
He's kind of scary, to be honest, man.
Sociopathic.
For sure. He's definitely seems like one of those you don't want to anger. That's for sure.
I mean, let's be very clear. He fell for a human. Fine. I'll accept that. I don't even know if that's true yet. For all we know, he's stringing her along. But he fell for a human woman. Okay, cool. It doesn't change. I don't care. I think I've convinced myself that Viltrumites aren't good people. I think that's what's happened.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that's unfair, but I don't know how many episodes there are going to be in this season. So
that's true as well.
I don't know if we're going to get a larger expanded, because I think we talked about this in a last episode or something like that, where like, do you think that we're going to see more of the Viltrumites? I don't know at this point. I don't know how they could fit into the sort of overarching storyline. But then again, it could be just a serialized episode in which the Viltrumites come down for an episode, and then you learn more about them. Yeah,
I'm thinking if we were to be introduced to another Viltrumite anytime soon, it would be one of two things. Nolan has been on the run from Viltrum, or he simply ain't did his job. I refuse to say he's a good guy until he proves otherwise.
Yeah, well, he doesn't seem like he's a very good guy. It seems like he's got his own priorities going on.
Right. Now, Invincible, by all means, he still has a chance to be considered either of the two. But currently, Nolan, aka Omni-Man, is a bad guy. Or he has more potential to be a bad guy than anything else. But currently, he's just a super powered dickhead.
Right. Oh, and that's why that agent guy, what's his name? The guy that teleports. I can't even remember his name. Cecil. That's why Cecil's keeping an eye on Mark, right? Because he wants to see if Mark is going to be a decent human being, unlike his father.
I think they want to know more than that. I think they want to find out what makes a Viltrumite tick, and the reason they
What
want
their
to do that,
weaknesses are.
yeah, what their weaknesses are, and the reason they want to do that is they know, like, Dark Blood knew that. Yes, I said "knew" for those who aren't aware. That is past tense, but like Dark Blood knew, and the difference between them and Dark Blood is Dark Blood has nothing to fear. Like, oh, you can't kill me. I'm already a demon.
Mm-hmm.
And the government can die. Like, literally every single one of them are human and can die.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to kill Omni-Man, stop or slow him down. But either one of the two things happen.
Yeah.
Either he murdered his entire team or somebody controlled him, which means somebody found his weakness.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I think it's kind of closer to that berserker mode thing, right?
I think so.
Because we even saw a little bit of that with Invincible in the 5th episode.
Episode 5, yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of exhibited that sort of berserker mode thing where he just starts going crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's quite possible that that could be just a side effect of having that much power. It's like once you lose your shit, then all of a sudden you're just like super potent and can, beat up anybody.
Right. And essentially that's what the berserker rage is, right? Mm-hmm. What I thought was interesting about that moment was as he got that jolt of energy that pushed him over the edge, it was almost like everybody in the room felt it.
Yeah.
It was like they all turned like, oh, and then he exploded. And it was like they felt the draw of energy, almost as if he was draining the energy of people around him or those around him.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's still a mystery as to what Nolan's motives are. We haven't figured that out yet, at least up until episode 5. Do you think that Damien Darkblood is gone for good? Because I don't necessarily think he's gone for good.
I don't think he's gone for good. I think he's been exercised and he's going to strike a larger deal with the devil while he's down there to get out of the circle that he's been trapped in. I mean, he's going to have to. How will he get out of his imprisonment?
Yeah, that's true. I think they just sent him back.
He might be.
I think they just sent him back to hell. Yeah.
You think they sent him back and now he has to just make his way back out?
I mean, yeah, maybe he can't get out, but yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting too. Cecil was like, I know Nolan did it, but I can't have you like, tipping our hand and before we have all the answers. So
right. Yeah. So we saw the Muller twin just know where to go and what to do, as you alluded to last episode. How he just knew what to do to make a clone. That was really cool, but it was a little more explained in episode 5 when the clone wakes up. He does the mental transferal as well, which I thought was really dope. And then Robot kind of pops up, which Robot has some crazy moves. But
he was doing like what's that? Kill Bill Volume 2, the Pai Mei, where he's just dodging,
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, Robot is definitely not what we think.
Yeah.
So as Robot pops up on them and says, I need your assistance as the foremost greatest mind on cloning. And it was like, he's able to do something that other people aren't. And what I saw was it's like he essentially he does the same thing that the doctor in Madripoor did to extract the serum from Isaiah's blood. The exact same thing, like found that particular isotope or genome, whatever you want to call it, isolated it, extracted, and replicated it until it was useful in some way. I thought that was really cool that the Muller twins were reintroduced in that manner, regardless of how far they're going to help or not going to help Robot. Just having that background.
Well, Robot freed them specifically, I think, for helping him clone. And obviously, I believe that whoever Robot is cloning is himself, is his biological form, who he was before his consciousness got downloaded into that robot.
Okay, so we do
And
both. We do both. We are both in agreement that robot is a being trapped in a robot's
yes,
body. Okay.
yeah, I at least I think so. I mean, like, it would seem to indicate that he doesn't like the fact that he's a robot. He knows he's a robot. If you were actually a robot, you wouldn't care. But
Mm-hmm.
if you were somebody that was put inside of a robot, you'd probably be a little bit upset about that. And
Right.
he makes that comment to what's
Monster
Beast
Girl.
Girl or Monster
Yeah.
Girl about people not seeing who you really are. And yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that's probably a good direction to guess.
Right. And also his discussion with Monster Girl made me think, because she was cursed. So it's not like she was born with her power or asked for it. She was simply given it, and it's a curse upon her. That's what made me also think what you just said. Like, suppose if whomever or whatever is inside or controlling robot, right? What if it was like Phoenix level or Scarlet Witch level powerful? And somebody was able to take its consciousness and trap it in the robot to basically neutralize it in a way.
Yeah, I could see it where it's like a villain from a long time ago that's been kind of waiting. Although it would make more sense if it was somebody that we've already seen before. Because I don't know if it would make a whole lot of sense for Robot to be some villain that we've never met. Because
Right.
that wouldn't be much of a reveal, I don't think. But perhaps it's one of the original Justice League members. Maybe there was a contingency plan to put that one of those Justice League members' consciousness into Robot, and then Robot is trying to find a way to bring back the biological body. I don't know.
Well, no, because Robot was already with Team. They didn't insinuate that he came in any time after.
Well, they didn't say anything at all about that. So, I mean,
You are correct.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I'm just speculating because to me, it would make more sense if it was somebody that we've already seen before. But that's what we're kind of touching upon that too earlier when we're talking about, like, there's really no solid villain right now. There's
really no solid storyline.
No, there is really no solid storyline either. I could really only grasp there is no storyline.
I mean, it's
the only storyline is whether we find out Nolan admits to killing the Justice League or not.
Right. I'm like, the concept is we're really just following the life of the Grayson family. If we're being honest, that's the concept. But if I had to write a beginning and at least middle to the plot, I would be so lost.
Yeah.
Like, where did we start with this? Where did this begin?
Yeah, and I think that's why
I know where it began. It began with the murder of everybody.
Right, but that's really the only line that's still gone through the entire show. Everything else has kind of changed. So, and I think that's one of the reasons I have such a hard time trying to comment on each of the episodes, because it's like we're not getting like this overarching sort of narrative. I would like to see what happens when we find out what happened with Nolan and this the Guardians or whatever, but I don't think there's anything more than that aside from maybe Mark getting with Adam Eve.
And so okay.
And you knew it. I told you that was going to happen. I told you, we said that in the last episode. I said, I am sick and tired of the I'm always late because I'm secretly a superhero trope. I hate it.
You definitely saw it coming. And so I was just about to ask about that because I know you brought it up already. So I knew we were going to have to talk about it a little.
Yeah.
What do you think of now? Follow me here. There's a few things that I think can happen. And again, we're in a different age of TV show making, script writing, TV in general in society. So things are accepted on a different level, for God's sakes. There is a character named Adam Eve, and there's no need to explain it, because if anyone has to ask her to explain her name, they just don't understand the times we're in. And I think that is the scope of her name being Adam Eve. So that in itself lends to what I'm getting towards, which is, so Mark has the issue, first he has his first kiss and date with Amber and everything is going good. Then he has to take the mission to Mars and he confides in Adam Eve or in Eve about it. Adam Eve, whatever. Let's call her Adam Eve. I like that better. Confide in Adam Eve better. And she goes to explain to him, oh, be careful if you tell her your secret. And from that point, it almost seems as if every time he has the opportunity to just be with Amber, aside from everything else, it gets weird. Because it's like, oh, I could tell you the truth, but maybe you won't understand. Then Eve turns around and tries to help him.
Right. Yeah.
And so my question, right, of course, exactly. Of course she tries to help him. So my question is this. Do you think it's gonna be the old, oh, he's with Amber and trying to make it work, but now he has feelings for Eve, which we know he has feelings for both of them. And then he's gonna leave her and get for Eve. He's gonna leave her immediately, Amber, that is, and be with Eve and then explain it later to Amber, and she's gonna be understanding, and they're somehow gonna find their way back together, or all three of them are gonna work it out, and he's gonna be trying to figure out how to be a polygamist in high school.
Or I would say that this is a strong possibility. The girls ditch the man and get with each other.
2021. I saw that coming too. I forgot to mention that, and I did actually see a little bit of that at the soup kitchen.
Right. That's exactly the only reason that I say that is because they did have that scene together at the soup kitchen where Eve shows up and Mark isn't there. And Eve tries to be, decent and tell Amber that Mark loves her and all that stuff. But Amber's she's done. She's not gonna entertain this anymore, and that's fine. I mean, I can understand that. I think that it's a contrived trope, so I'm glad that it's not going to be sticking around for too long. But I could definitely see it going two ways. Either it's, Amber is going to cut Mark off. He's going to feel dejected. He's going to get closer to Eve, or Eve and Amber are going to get together.
I thought that, and I failed to mention that, so I'm glad you did, because I can see that also being one of and that's my point, is there are a couple of ways that can go. And only, if you ask me, mostly because we're in 2021. If this were 2011, we know exactly what would happen. We've already experienced the first wave of how that goes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of contrivances and tropes, and the love triangle is already boring to me. I mean, look, I'm a kid of TV. I grew up in front of the television. I've seen all the greatest love triangles TV has had to offer, and I'm tired of it. I mean, I don't think that we even need the love triangle anymore. I think that it doesn't serve a story very well, except for creating opportunities for snafu. And that's pretty much all it does, and it's just kind of this contrivance at this point. So I would be happy if they just put away this entire love triangle, and it's either Amber and Eve get together, or none of them get together. Just be done with this. Ooh, are they gonna be together? Ooh, do they like each other? No, just tell a story.
What if Amber somehow meets Rex?
Right, Rex. Were you getting a weird feeling that Rex and Monster Girl? That was a little
not
bit
from her side though, but from his side, and only because of. And if I'm honest, I feel like Robot kind of made it more than it was. Rex is creepy, but I don't think he's also Rex. He's just a freaking child. So I don't think it was anything more than him just being Rex. And then when Robot kind of approaches him about it, I think now he's trying to defend himself. So now it makes him look even weirder, because he's not going to stop spending time with her. But now the seed's been planted. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that was a little bit strange, but Rex is such a whack character. I mean, honestly, I would be ashamed to have superpowers like that.
If they had anyone else to play that character that didn't have Jason Mastukis' voice,
that's true,
it would be a terrible character. But because it's essentially like having Jay from Big Mouth that can blow shit up, it makes it a little different.
Yeah, I get that. I just think that his powers are awful.
His powers are awful.
I mean, literally in the 5th episode, he was charging up refrigerator magnets. And throwing them at bad guys. I mean, come on now.
And somehow that was a part of the special move. And I was trying to figure out, if they could have did all of this, why did Black Samson and Monster Girl just die?
Right. Yeah. Brutally. That warrior kitty was
Battle Beast.
Pretty tough.
Warrior Kitty. No. I'm sorry.
He's Warrior Kitty.
Warrior Kitty Warrior
That's
Kitty did
him.
amazing.
He was a beast, man. He was, yeah. He just murdered so many people.
He's the saber tooth I've been looking for in comics.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I could be happy with no more of that drama. It's just that trope of trying to juggle a secret identity and a significant other at the same time. It's just so tired. It's been done so many times.
1000%. So two things. One, I noticed we haven't met Amber's mother yet, even though we were supposed to.
Right.
We did meet Titan's family, and I expected Amber to be Titan's daughter. No joke. I really expected.
Oh yeah, that could have been interesting.
Right. I thought that would have been interesting, but then I realized, shame on me. I'm just gonna say shame on me. All Black people don't know each other.
Right. Yeah, you can't assume, man, just because they're both the same skin color. Come on.
I was like, and when I was sitting here and I was like, oh, they're related. And then I was like, that was trashing me. I did. That was absolutely. But I had fun with it. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's all good. It's fun to be silly.
Right. So what I also thought was interesting. So Cecil almost got killed, one, but then he also had to earn his check. I think Nolan is kind of crazy, and I know I just called him a sociopath and a psychopath and blah 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 a minute ago, but no, like there's a dragon behind you. You don't even want to see it.
Nolan is definitely a loose cannon, right? So like he has that veneer of Superman where it's like, but like Superman when Lois Lane is killed. Right. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
for the bushes,
boy. Yeah.
He is aimed for the bushes times 20.
Yeah. He's definitely a dangerous person to be around.
For sure. Now, don't get me misunderstood. I thought it was very cool how he's like, let Cecil earn his check. And, you just see the jets fly by and they blow up the dragon. It's like, oh, okay. I guess you really knew that was gonna be.
But it also just shows you. It also just shows you like he doesn't even really care about Earth.
No, why would he?
But he talks all that mess about being the defender of Earth, and he doesn't really care.
No. Yeah, he is for sure waiting and biding his time until he absolutely has to prove his dominance.
I think he thinks he's the king of Earth.
Well, I think he is in his mind because no one's been able to rival or defeat him. Here's also something. I remember at first we were thinking he was losing his powers.
Right.
What if he's getting stronger?
I mean, that's possible too. I mean, I although I don't know necessarily how much more strong he has to be. He literally decimated all of the Guardian people without that much difficulty.
This is true. But you get what I'm saying. I'm really just thinking like, wait, if you're the most powerful species, right? When do you guys stop getting stronger?
We could also just be talking out of our ass, and Nolan could just end up being like a normal dad.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Like he says he is.
Yeah, no, seriously. And that's where I'm kind of like a little bit confused with at least the show so far, because I'm like, there's like we've been going back to, there's just not enough for me to make these extrapolations right now. So like all I know is that Nolan killed the Guardians, but he acts like a pretty decent dad and he seems to care about his wife. And it seems like this is the only thing he's really trying to hide right now.
So far, yeah. No, he definitely seems like he loves Mark and he loves his wife. He wishes she would stop asking so many damn questions, but he loves his wife.
Certainly. Yeah. But I mean, like, also, it's not like his wife is finding other terrible things that he's done. So, like, this
she just investigating this one thing.
Right. And as the audience, this is the only terrible thing that we know he's done. So it's quite possible, like you've said before, like either maybe he was being controlled or there's some other thing that happened in which he's not exactly fully culpable for his actions. And we're just assuming that he's this villainous person because we saw him kill the Guardians.
Right. I'm really biting on the I'm leaning on the berserker rage situation, but more of a blackout berserker rage, like he's not in control of it.
Right.
And only because we keep seeing flashes of it from Mark still, and he's so young.
Right. Right.
Speaking of Mark, so Mark finds the Martian layer on Mars. So are all Viltrumites polyglots?
I don't know. It's weird because they were saying it was funny because he was the Martian was like, or he asked the Martian, you can speak English, and he says, I'm speaking Martian.
Right.
So perhaps, yes, he can understand other languages intrinsically, or it's a commentary about the fact that perhaps Martians were the first people to create the English language, and and we just like stole them as humanoids. We stole the language for them at some point. I don't know. That's kind of a weird speculation, but it was weird that he said like, I'm speaking Martian. And I'm like, well, maybe the Martians were the ones that like came to Earth and, you know, taught us languages and stuff like that.
Look at you.
I know that Earth is, or English isn't a very ancient language, so I don't know if that would hold up, but yeah.
Hey, who knows? You just opened a whole new Pandora's box there.
Or it's probably just a throwaway comment that I'm reading way too deeply into.
So let's think what else happens. And I am okay, they have to explain this to me. What is up with that whole that what was that? Symbiote starfish?
Oh yeah, the face huggers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. That's going to be something, you know, that might be happening.
I hope that comes back.
But it didn't come back in the 5th episode. So
right.
Yeah. So this is where I get what you're saying about like this like build up to something way crazy. And then I think we'll probably see that in the future, to be honest. But I don't know how they could fight something like that, because it seems like it's a giant virus almost.
Well, there's 2 Viltrumites, so they'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe, and they're immune to the face huggers. So yeah, so maybe, you know, in the entirety of Earth, you know, gets taken over by these face huggers or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that one, I guess.
Right. So yeah, I'm like, that was probably the most interesting thing to me. Oh, actually, no, that was the second most interesting thing to me. The most interesting thing is after they exorcised Darkblood, the grimoire notebook he left behind. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
it's
that's
like
super cool.
Yeah, and at first I thought, because I was like, okay, is it making noise, or is that just for us to know that, you know, it's Darkbloods? And not seeing the face, I'm like, oh nope, it's a grimoire. So I'm like, it's speaking directly to her.
She'll probably summon him back.
I'm thinking that's exactly how he's going to get back, actually. Indeed.
Yeah.
Now that you say that is indeed how he's going to get back.
Yeah. That he probably knew that he might get summoned away, so he probably left that there. So if she ever wanted to talk to him, she could call him. Yeah.
I thought it was cool to find out that apparently Rex, it wasn't a pedophile until Beast Girl, if that's how that goes, or Monster Girl, if that's how that goes, because Eve is 18.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, her parents, but her parents are ultra weirdos who didn't want her to stop dating the other weirdo that cheated on her.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that was kind of like okay. Yeah, I don't know what parents would ever be like, oh yeah, go back with the cheating guy.
People in terrible mental health, I'm sure.
I guess, yeah, it must be.
It made me feel like Eve was in foster care.
Kind of. I mean, they didn't seem to care that much about their daughter. They just wanted her to be protected from, I don't know.
Which, like, why is she?
Yeah, who knows? There's too many questions.
No, I want to know. What are you gonna ask? Why is she?
No, I'm like, why is she even a part of a superhero team? Like, why are any teenagers a part of a superhero team?
Oh, because the way her dad explained it, it's like some cool club that you let your kid go and join because you like other kids that are a part of it. Her dad's a loser. That's what I ascertained.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, so let's think. After that, you have that. There's not much more. He's
just the fight at the penthouse, right?
Right. Well, after he's 2 hours late, Mark is to the whole. I know we're kind of off of the Eve and Adam and Amber situation. But after he's 2 hours late and then he has to go down to the food banquet, that's when we do find out that one of his main incentives was trying to help Titan to take out the Kingpin because of Amber. Like, oh, Amber goes down there. Oh, okay, I can make it safer for her and the community and the people and the places she cares about. I thought that was something worth noting as well, for a 16-year-old kid to be considering that. And then I did think, oh, well, I had the thought like, well, wait, if they're only like 16, 15, then I was like, wait, no, he's 17, Eve's 18. Okay, they're all seniors.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he might even be 18 too, because they were talking about him going to college and stuff. So,
right.
I mean, who knows? Yeah. It is what it is. It's a cartoon. So,
well, it just made me realize they're trying to hit that coming of age type of feel. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what they're getting at here.
I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I liked Metal Machine Head.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
I wish I knew what his thing was. I guess he's just like an AI.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I pictured he was just an AI, and whatever Titan had stolen from him gave him the quantum computing capabilities.
Right.
Which didn't help much,
was cool. I guess not. Yeah, he didn't see all the possibilities.
And on top of that, so this is what I didn't understand. So Nolan watched that entire fight from the sky. Like,
oh, was he watching?
Oh, he was watching. There was just one clip they showed, and it was red and white, somebody in red and white in a red cape just floating. And I'm like, really? Yeah. You're just, and the whole time I'm watching, like, especially when Invincible started really getting beat, and he was basically about to kill him, or he's killing him, thinking he was killing him at least. And he was sitting there and he never came down. I was just like, oh, here comes Dad. Nope. No Dad. Oh, here comes Dad. Nope.
No. Do you think
here comes Dad? Oh, Teen.
Yeah. Do you think that a convenient way for them to write Amber out is to have Invincible die and then be cloned? So then he's technically a new person and doesn't remember Amber at all?
Could be, but excuse me. Sorry. Could be, but what I think is going to happen with that is what I was saying in episode 1. I am under the impression with a name like Invincible, and being Viltrumite, which is similar to Superman, but showing through the training he has to do with his dad that he still has to train and try to get bigger and better and stronger and faster. I think things like coming near-death experiences make them stronger.
Maybe.
So I think the closer he got beat to actually not being on the plane of existence anymore, when he recovers, he's going to be that much stronger. Like the next time he has to fight Battle Kitty, what we call him, Warrior Kitty.
Warrior Kitty.
Yeah, good luck, Warrior Kitty, because he's not going to be the same guy.
Yeah.
And I got that from when they took his blood and they were trying to run tests. It's like, no matter what, Viltrumite cells just won't die. And it's like, you're trying to kill blood cells? And then I thought about what that meant. Like, wait, if you can't kill the blood cells, you definitely can't kill the person or the beat.
Right. Yeah. Well, it would seem to me that there's a heavy cloning aspect about this. So I would venture to say that they're going to try to clone Invincible as well.
But if that's the case, then they could have cloned all the Guardians of the Globe.
Maybe they decided that they needed to do that after they were all murdered.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, shoot, we didn't know that they could all be murdered that easily. We should probably have kept their DNA on deck. Yeah, on deck so that we could just make new ones.
Right. So there was also the scene that I thought, another scene I liked. And again, all of this for me, I'm really just highlighting things that popped out, things that were interesting. I did like both episodes. I am interested in the next episode for context. But the way that Debbie was able to literally map out, like, if I have them go to this country and this country and this country, I have exactly this amount of time. Boom, 20 minutes.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty clever. Yeah,
that was pretty clever. Now, I don't know if it really would have panned out that way, but it was. What I didn't like was, okay, you've just found everything. You have 3 minutes. You have it out on the counter. He gets back. You see him land. You knock it off the counter, kick it under the thing, kick it under where you are. Where
always
he don't see that. He don't hear that. He don't smell that. And most importantly, how are you going to get it up? Because he's already here.
Oh, he's
How are you
just
gonna
gonna
get back?
he'll find it. He's gonna find it, of course. He's gonna
Easily.
find
Easily.
because that's what happens. You need to create the drama, and yeah. There, I swear, there's only 7 stories that ever existed, so you're gonna get repetition once in a while. So.
There may be 8, but we haven't put ours out yet.
Yeah, there you go. Bang. Wait for number 8, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Yeah, all right. Well, do you have anything else that you wanted to bring up? I think you hit all the real highlight points for sure.
I think so as well. So like I said, Debbie found the uniform. Oh yeah, so Titan. What do you think Titan is gonna do with his newfound power?
I mean, like if I were him, and it seems as though like he's not a terrible guy. If I were him, I'd just secure my family and make sure everything is good, But it does seem like he has an ulterior motive as well.
Well, yeah, he has control over the whole city now.
Yes, he does, which I don't necessarily understand what he wants to do with that. But yeah, it would seem to me that he didn't necessarily want to make an enemy of Invincible either. So it doesn't. I don't really think that he's going to be like this main antagonist guy. And like he might have another incident with Invincible, but he could have killed Invincible if he wanted to. He just didn't.
True.
So like I don't think that he's. Yeah. I don't think he's necessarily a bad guy. I just think that he might have his own sort of ulterior motives. He might create a different type of criminal underground. Who knows?
I think he'll be the Wilson Fisk type.
Okay.
A bad guy in the right of what a bad guy is, but a great person in the terms of what a human being is.
Right.
It's like the world knows this excellent, amazing, like better than Lex Luthor type of person, but more bodies than Lex could ever try to amass. That
right. Yeah, a philanthropist.
Yeah.
A philanthropist. That's what we call those.
I named in my head just now.
Yeah, bro.
You are a genius. So, okay, so that's one for me. That one question I have. You already explained you think they may clone Mark. I don't. I think he'll come back and I think it's going to make him stronger. And overall, do you think they want to kill or clone Omni-Man?
I think they want to kill Omni-Man.
Okay, I'm thinking they want to somehow control Mark and kill Omni-Man as well. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that would be the best case scenario for the government, right? That's why they're keeping an eye on Mark. They're trying to see if they can keep Mark in their pocket because they can't control Omni-Man.
Mm-hmm. Would you believe if we found out that Adam Eve is a clone somehow?
The handler, or a handler for the government, possibly.
I would believe that without a question. But that's what made me think about the cloning thing. Like if she's not even really, and that's why her parents are, oh, you should do this. And like you're not even ours. You're a test bunny we were given.
Yeah, I mean, she could be government property, possibly for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. Again, I think we're putting a little bit too much intrigue where there probably isn't any. But it's fun to speculate.
It is. Last place where there is actual intrigue then. Robot. Do you think we get more from the robot story this episode 6 or later? Or excuse me, next episode, which would be episode 6 and 7 or later?
I think it would be important to understand a little bit more about what he's doing. I don't know if we'll get the full sort of explanation, but it's very clear that he's trying to clone something, and perhaps he has a sample of DNA, so maybe that is DNA of who his biological body used to be.
No, that first one, that one was the as far as I know, that the only DNA we've seen him take is from Rex. Like he wants to make a better version of Rex. So far,
the one that came out of his wrist when he went to the Clone Brothers.
Yeah, because remember right before that, the scene before that was when he was having that talk with Rex that made Rex come off kind of pedophilic, and when he had touched Rex on the shoulder and he was like, "Ow, that hurt, robot." And he was like, "Oh, I forget how soft you humans are."
Right.
He had pushed that out. Yeah.
So it's possible that Robot is just trying to clone superheroes as well to create the best team or whatever. It's possible. Right. Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, he really likes the concept of Rex's powers. I think he thinks Rex is more powerful than he's shown.
I mean, like, he should be more powerful if he's able to charge things with kinetic energy. That shouldn't be limited to coins and magnets.
I agree.
You know, he should be able to do a lot more with that. But
Right.
yeah, I guess maybe that's what Robot's trying to do, is like maybe he likes certain powers and he's just trying to create the ultimate team, you know, or the ultimate superheroes, because obviously Rex is a moron, and
For
it's
sure.
probably better if you had somebody more capable with better skill that had his powers.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
so yeah, those are the last points or questions I have. I think we could have a few more action scenes in the next episode, hopefully. For some
Yeah.
reason, I
Oh
feel like
yeah. Yeah.
we're cut back a little bit, episode 4 and 5 compared to 1 through 3.
Yeah, well, I mean, the last action scene of episode 5 was pretty darn awesome.
Agreed.
Seeing Warrior Kitty beat the hell out of all those
Oh,
people
yeah,
was pretty cool.
Kitty. And then realize, like, I got too much of the upper hand. This isn't fair. Look, I'm
Yeah,
going
he's like,
home.
there's no honor in killing insects, and he just
Right,
leaves.
right.
I want to know more about him. I want to see where he
Look,
comes from.
so how about this is what should happen? We're gonna let another portal open.
Yeah.
All Viltrumites are gonna go through that portal, and it's gonna be to the planet of the Battle Kitty or the Warrior
Oh, the
Kitty or
battle
Battle Beast.
kitties. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
and
that.
we're
I
gonna
like that.
let them duke it out. We don't need dialogue, guys. Just let them duke it out.
Right. I'm down. I'm down. All right. Well, yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us. You got anything else before we wrap up, man?
No, that's all from me, man.
Yeah,
As usual, I enjoyed this episode, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. As I said, it's been hard to kind of talk about the overarching storyline. So I hope that pushes along in future episodes. I hope we can have more to speak about that. But I'm enjoying it. I enjoy some of the original ideas, the original takes on different types of powers and bad guys. Like, I think it's always refreshing to see new iterations of the same old thing that we see all the time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And thank you guys so much for listening. We very much appreciate all of you out there. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a thumbs up on YouTube and perhaps a subscription to our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/screentime continuum. We're trying to build that YouTube page up. And we just very much appreciate you guys taking listen this evening or anytime you're listening to this. If you want to check out Keelan's podcast, he's got one on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. If Numbers Could Talk. Please go follow his YouTube page and his Facebook page, all at If Numbers Could Talk. He's also a part of the Thinkering Talks page on Facebook. That's where you can catch all of our podcasts. My podcast, Exofathom, is on that on Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. We also have a YouTube page and a Facebook page if you would like to check that out as well. Please stay tuned for this weekend. Perhaps we'll have an episode for you. We got to check our schedules on that. But if we don't, we'll definitely have one coming up in the next couple of weeks. And we're going to be talking about Captain Falcon. I keep doing that.
Captain
Falcon.
Winter Flyboy. Oh, no, wait. Captain Falcon and White Wolf.
There we go. Captain Falcon and the White Wolf. Yeah, we're definitely going to have a discussion about the last episode of that. And stay tuned, guys. We're going to be having a very special guest on the show very soon to review the Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out on HBO Max. So please stay tuned for that. We're very excited about that conversation. But that'll be coming up in the future. So stay tuned. And thank you, as always, for taking this trip through the Screen Time Continuum with us. For Screen Time Continuum, I am Nick.
And I'm Keelan.
Good night, everyone.
Later, guys.
We didn't talk over each other this time. Nice.